The rise and fall of Oyster cards. The rise and fall. Do you have an Oyster card? Do you live in London and do you have an Oyster card? I don't think you do. Or do people have Oyster cards? I don't know. Well, Network Nathan is going to break down for us the rise and fall of Oyster cards. I pressed like. I've not watched the video yet. I thought this will be interesting to watch because I like these type of videos, these niche type of videos. There's one guy called Jeff Marshall who I've been watching for like 10 years. I'm just a little nerd, bruv. I just like watching. I'm a nerd, but I'm not a nerd, if you know what I mean. I like watching interesting videos like this. Yeah, let's see.
The Oyster card, one of the most recognizable symbols of London's transport network.
Yeah.
Since it launched, over 86 million cards have been issued. And for a while it changed.
I remember you had to pay like £5 as well. I remember you had to pay £5 for an Oyster card, or was it £10 or something like that? And I remember I remember whenever we'd find Oyster cards, like would go and trade them in and get like £5 or something like that. Or would deactivate it on the machine and the machine would give us £5, something like that. I didn't dabble in that too much, but I know a couple man were like, I mean, I'm going to say eating, but back in the day, eating off of that, like finding Oyster cards, like knowing the spots where people would lose their Oyster cards, even running into tourists who would just want to get rid of their Oyster card. They don't need it after.
Changed the way Londoners travel. But with contactless payments and phone wallets taking over, does the Oyster card still have a future? In this video, we'll discuss the rise, fall, and possible future of London's beloved blue card.
I just think, why can't you add the Oyster card to your phone wallet? Because I know a lot of people complain about TFL just charging them like when they ain't got the money, and TFL charges them, like overcharges them a mad amount, and they have to go through a refund process. And there was even a whole scabaffle where Sadiq Khan's refund process for the Oyster card refunds was down for like a year or something like that, something crazy. It's a cold intro.
Before the Oyster card, travel in London looked very different. For decades, people used paper tickets to get around.
I remember
they worked
them
at first, but as passenger numbers grew, they became an outdated and slow way of paying for travel. So TfL needed a way to speed up journey times, cut queues, and reduce ticket office transactions.
Bro, do you remember when they had bendy buses and you needed to buy a ticket? You could buy a bus. You had to buy a bus ticket on their machines. Do you remember them? Like, they were like red machines that they would have. And I remember, what was it? My cousin told me something so funny. He said when he was waiting for the bus, like there was two options for the bus. Yeah. There was one that was a single bus or double decker, and there was one that was bendy. I'm not going to say the area or the bus name, but you guys can remember the iconic bendy buses. Now, he said when he would go out with his sister when he was younger, he never understood why they would never get on the double-decker bus and always wait for the bendy bus. It was only until he was older that he realized, oh, like, the bendy bus was free. You know, you could get on it for free. On a double-decker, you obviously couldn't get on it for free. I found that quite amusing.
All while being a bit more environmentally friendly. So they put their heads together and they came up with the idea of a smart card. Believe it or not, the idea of a smart card in London goes all the way back to the 1980s. There was even an early test of this new technology on bus route 212 in 1992. And a full launch in Harrow in 1994, called the Smart Photo Card and advertised as the new passport to Harrow's buses.
Whoa.
It only lasted a couple of years, but the concept was proven a success, as it would later become the Oyster card that we know today. Fast forward to 2003, and the Oyster card finally launched.
In 2003? Now that means that the adaptation of the Oyster card took long then, because
at first it had limited features, but it quickly became the key to getting around London. Even the name had a story behind it. The name Oyster was chosen as it was meant to symbolize your money, being the pearl, safely secured in the hard shell of an oyster.
Oy.
Other name ideas like Pulse and Gem were considered, but the name Oyster just fitted London's brand perfectly.
Can you imagine if it wasn't called an Oyster card? I don't think it would hit the same.
It really illustrates that having this card means the world, or at least London, is your oyster. It honestly changed transport in London like nothing else before. Like boarding buses became faster, as drivers no longer needed to count the cash and provide passengers with a ticket. It also meant that you as the passenger no longer needed to remember to carry the correct piece of change when heading onto the bus.
Long.
The introduction of the Oyster meant it even offered cheaper fares, like the £1 all-day tram fare, to incentivise people to get an Oyster card. But what was stopping its full potential was national rail operators. It was great being able to use the Oyster card on TFL services, but it made it a bit awkward if your journey required you to be on a national rail train, meaning you had to buy a ticket, and then go on a TFL service where you're allowed to use an Oyster card. But after a bit of a push and incentivizing to get them on board, in 2010, the Oyster card finally started expanding onto national rail services in Greater London. That's when it truly became London's universal travel card. And by 2012, around 80% of public transportation journeys in London were made using an Oyster card.
80% is crazy. By 2010, he said. Damn.
Shift to Oyster cards didn't come without its negatives, as it led to fewer ticket offices than before and a more digital transport system, which isn't great for people that aren't technology savvy.
I'm thinking about the jobs that were lost, to be honest with you. The jobs, crazy amount of jobs lost. These are cold cameos, though.
Okay, all this discussion about the Oyster card, but how does it actually work? You can buy one online at most TFL run stations and at some convenience stores. You can then top it up at ticket machines, some convenience stores, and the TFL Go app. And you can even set up auto top up, which automatically tops up your Oyster card when it goes below a threshold. And I think the threshold is £20. Inside the card is a tiny chip developed by Cubic Transportation Systems, and it communicates with the card readers every time you tap in and tap out.
Bro, this is back when like England was just so much more innovative. You know what I mean? This was groundbreaking. Like nowhere else in the world really had this type of stuff. You know, London was advanced for the time.
Something quite interesting about these chips is that there were stories in the late 2000s of people removing the chips from the Oyster card and putting it on watches and bracelets. Essentially a DIY version of Apple Pay on a smartwatch. TFL didn't love that people were doing this, but it kind of showed where technology was heading.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the Oyster card's functionality. It works across all TFL services and most national rail services in Greater London. For buses and trams, you just tap once and it's a flat fare for your journey. For tube, DLR and trains, you have to tap in and out, as your fare is determined by the zones you travel through. And if you tap in but forget to tap out, you're at risk of a maximum fare, which isn't great at all. If you do,
I've actually got a way for you guys to avoid this. I kind of want to gatekeep. You know, not that I use it, but I kind of want to gatekeep. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if too many people find out, then it's just gonna, you know what I mean? But there's a way to just be able to tap in, tap out, but you ain't paying nothing. You know what I mean? You ain't paying nothing, but come on. We need to support, we need to clap for the NHS, we need to support TFL. Come on, guys, sorry.
Forget to tap out. You can dispute the maximum fare online to get some of the money back, but you can only do this 3 times per calendar month. And for the travellers that want to ensure they pay the cheapest fare possible, there are pink card readers at interchange stations, as tapping on the pink reader ensures that you don't get charged the Zone 1 fares or the higher national rail fares. You can even use the Oyster card on Thames Clipper boat services and the London cable car.
Yeah.
You can only use Oyster Pay As You Go and not travel cards. Beyond that, you can purchase travel cards and bus passes and load them onto the Oyster card. And later on, TFL introduced daily and weekly caps, so you'd automatically get the best value without needing to plan ahead.
Oh yeah, I remember you could. I know you could load travel cards or day cards onto your Oyster cards. I know that.
Visually, the card hasn't changed much. Still that signature blue and cyan
iconic.
with a white swoop.
It's iconic.
Additionally, there are many special edition versions. These are released in limited stock during special occasions, such as the 2012 Olympics, the 150th anniversary of the Tube, and the Elizabeth line opening. All of these and more are popular collector's items. So I actually had, emphasis on had, Elizabeth line Oyster card. I got it on the first day when the Elizabeth line opened on the 24th of May, 2022. Got on the first train from Abbey Wood. I always remember that day. Great day. Very long queue, but we just made it. The people I was with just made it in. We were the last people to get into that first.
And the Elizabeth line, honestly, you know, because my boy is from Slough, and he likes to say, oh, Slough's not London, really. I'm like, bro, the Elizabeth line kind of makes me hear it more. You know what I mean? It kind of makes it like, nah, you kind of are London, because Slough to what? Slough to Central. That's like what, maybe 40 minutes, half an hour. It's not too bad. Direct line. Elizabeth line is the best thing this city's done in a long time.
Group of people to go on the first ever Elizabeth line train from Abbey Wood. I had that Oyster for ages. I kept it in a nice Oyster card wallet, and it did me well. It did me very well. And about a week ago, I went out, I was with friends, having a great time. And then I'm making my way back home. I fill my pockets and there's no Oyster card.
Oh.
So as one does, you kind of just like scurry around. You're looking around, seeing if you dropped it around, searching different places and whatnot. And it was nowhere to be found.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
It actually really hurt. It really hurt my feelings. I really was upset because I was like, I got it on the first day, it wasn't just a regular Oyster card. It was a special Elizabeth line Oyster card. And there weren't many of them in comparison to the regular Oyster card. So I thought I had a real attachment to this Oyster card. I have another Oyster card. I have a regular one, but it just isn't the same, man. It isn't.
I don't know why. I mean, I hear you'd want to use it, bro, but a collector's item like that, like, I don't think, like, bro, like, that is that could have, like, a card like that, like, not many of them Elizabeth line opening. This Elizabeth line's going to be here for 1,000, maybe another 1,000 years. Who knows? Like, if you kept that in your family, bro, in like 300 years, bro, that could have been worth the equivalent of like, that could have been like a mad collector's item, like worth £1 million or something. So that, like, little things like this impact your kids. You know what I mean? Because that could have been that probably will be worth millions in 100 years. You know what I mean?
The same. And as you can probably tell, I'm still not over it.
I wouldn't be. If I was you, I'd go buy a new one. It's worth it. It's a solid investment. Let's see. Is there any on eBay? All right, look over here, bro. £14, like £12. Like, they've got limited edition royal wedding collectible Oyster card. Bro, I might just go and buy that. I might just go and buy like this one. Let me buy the Elizabeth line one. I might go buy the royal wedding one and just keep it. TFL Oyster card, year of the bus, limited edition. I might just go spend maybe a pinky on as many as I can and just keep them, bro. Like that. Who knows? Them antiques might be worth peas for my. This is thinking about my kids, grandkids. You get what I'm saying?
So there's the main Oyster card, the special edition Oyster cards, and then the Oyster cards used for different types of passengers, such as the Zip Oyster card.
That's it. That's the one I was trying to remember, bro. The 11. It was 11 to 15. That's what it was. And there was one that was for younger than that I think gave you free travel on the train. I might be bugging. I don't think it did, actually. I think it gave you... I'm buzzing. I know, but both of them gave you free buses for sure.
Card, Student Oyster card, Staff Oyster card, Police Oyster card, 60 plus Oyster...
Sorry, what?
Staff Oyster card, Police...
Bacon? Why would a pig get an Oyster card? I just smell bacon. Stuff for a lot.
Oyster card, 60 plus Oyster card, and Visitors Oyster card. They all look different and have different features, but they work in the same way. So at this point, the Oyster card was thriving. They had many different variants. They had millions of people using it daily. What happened? Well, the beginning of the end came in the late 2000s. In 2007, TFL and Barclaycard collaborated and launched the One Pulse credit card, the first card in the UK to combine the features of a credit card and an Oyster card. It was the start of contactless travel. And then
Did it start in 2007? I thought it started like 2015 or something.
2012, buses started accepting contactless payment.
Oh my God, I feel old, bruv. I feel old because contactless did come around that time. It did. Yeah, my first ever bank account, the card was contactless, I think. Was it? I think it was. It must have been. If it started from 2012, it must have been.
2014, the entire London network did. And by 2016, you could use your card via your phone or smartwatch.
From 2016, Apple Pay. Has Apple Pay been run? Nah, you know what? Because I do remember, hold on, because I used to go on family trips to Orlando and that, and Florida all the time. And I just remember one time I had a Samsung and they were asking me to use Samsung Pay to pay for something. I think that was, oh my God, that was 8 years ago. Oh my God, I was in college 8 years ago, Ak. I was in college 8 years ago, Ache. I started college 8 years ago. Ache, what? Oh my God, I'm actually old. Was it that long ago? Have I been living for that long? I'm so bad. I'm sorry, I'm just having a moment right now. I'm just realizing, freaking hell, bro. These niggas are nearly 30, bro. These niggas are nearly 30. Like, I can't even say that anymore. Because soon guys are going to be able to say that to me. Oh my days, it's been that long. Freaking hell.
To pay. Without a doubt, TFL paved the way, being one of the first transport authorities in the world to accept contactless bank card payments.
Yeah.
But there are still limitations with using a contactless card compared to an Oyster card.
What are they?
For example, at this current point, contactless cards can't hold travel cards or display the remaining balance on your card. So, for now, the Oyster card still has a purpose, but it's significant.
And you know what as well? Like, I kind of do get onto the TFL system. I do be thinking, how's the TFL system only just got an app, like, was it this year? Or something like that, an official app. Like, when I was younger, I remember when you'd have to text to find out when the bus is coming, but I think it used to cost money or something like that. So you'd have to, like, there were certain apps or certain websites you'd have to go on to check when buses were coming. They only released an official app like this year. And even now, I don't understand why that app doesn't let you add a travel card to your phone wallet. You know, I don't understand why that can't happen yet.
Significance is slowly fading. But can that be purpose? But its significance is slowly fading. But can that be changed? Here's what I think can be done to shift the Oyster card's decline. So look, contactless isn't going anywhere, and people are increasingly relying on Apple Pay and Google Pay and not even bringing their physical cards out anymore.
No.
So what if TFL introduced a digital Oyster? So it'll be a virtual card on your phone that you can top up via the TFL Go app or via your phone wallet. So it'll combine all the benefits of an Oyster card, such as caps, being able to add travel cards and rail cards.
But why would they want to do that? Think about how much TFL makes every year from overcharging people that don't dispute it. Most people don't dispute it. Most people don't. You get tourists coming in. They don't want tourists using an Oyster card. They want tourists using their contactless so they can charge them what they want. How are the tourists going to dispute these charges, bro? What are they going to do? Why would they want to push an Oyster card? That's what I think. Think about how much money TFL makes every single year for every person they overcharge, bro. If they overcharged, how many journeys are made every single year in TFL? If they overcharged everybody £1 a week, that's billions, bro. That's got to be billions. You know what I mean? Just that. They're making a crap ton of money from overcharging people. So I don't think they're going to want to change that.
With the convenience of having contactless payment from your phone. So TFL may lose some revenue from moving away from the physical card, but they'd keep valuable travel data whilst adapting to the new way people travel. What inspired this thought was my time in Japan, where they have a similar system called the Suica card. So you can top...
Oh yeah, the data. But they're implementing facial recognition cameras everywhere now. Where did they introduce them? They introduced, I think the first place was Croydon. They had them at Carnival, and they introduced them now in like Silvertown around the Docklands. They've got facial recognition software. So it's not going to be long until they have that all over the underground, all over the transport network. So they'll be able to collect data like that anyway. They'll be able to see people's travel habits, and they'll be able to target fare evaders. But let's see what Broski's saying about Japan.
Where they have a similar system called the Suica card. So you can top it up with your phone's wallet and tap in just as you would with a contactless or Oyster card. Another thing the Suica card does that TFL could take and implement onto the Oyster card is the ability to pay for items in convenience stores. It just allows for a more broad use case. But yeah, if the Oyster card is going to survive the next generation, I feel like this will be the main or only way it can evolve. So yeah, the Oyster card.
Damn, so is he kind of proposing that they turn the Oyster card into like a prepaid debit card? Kind of. Because if they do that, then you need to give me some benefits. Why would I use you guys as prepaid debit card? I can go and open a prepaid debit card by downloading an app in 2 seconds. Why do I want to give you guys my data? But that might allow for more data collection if they let people use their Oyster cards. You know, if they let people use their Oyster cards as a prepaid debit card, maybe people could get cash back for shopping in shops in stations, you know, using businesses that are at bus stops, using businesses that are in train stations. If they got cash back for that, to incentivize people to support the businesses that pay rent to your network. That's a shout there, you know, but they're not going to do that.
Changed London forever. It made public transport in London faster, smarter, and better connected.
Yeah.
But as time moves forward, its usage is slowly decreasing for more efficient and modern technology. But what do you guys think? Should TFL keep the Oyster card alive and evolve it? Or should they just let it go completely?
I think they should evolve it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to check out Network Nathan's channel. Actually, I've watched a few of his videos still. I don't know, man. I don't think people are gonna use an Oyster card for freaking, you know, to as a prepaid debit card. Maybe if they release Oyster credit cards, we'll try these things. I don't know. I don't know what really you could use the Oyster card for. I'm just trying to think. How could they evolve it, bro? Like flights, other things. They could do whatever they wanted to do with it, but
Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So London's Oyster card comes in a nice bright blue, or many special options for the chosen few. No ticket office is needed, making it more efficient. That's true, but it's taken away the human interaction that comes from waiting in that queue.
Man got bars as well. Come on, man. Man got bars as well, bro. Subscribe to Nathan. Chung Lee, what do Chung Lee says in China? They just use Face ID to know how much to charge you for your fares, and if they overcharge you, you can't do anything about it. Well, that's cool, Chung Lee. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. What did he do that? I don't know.